Namaste, hello, and welcome back to another video on Hamsavahini Vajraasthra. I'm Awhona, and today's video is going to be about an upcoming readathon, which is the Irish Readathon, which will be held throughout the month of March. And it has been created by Leanne from Leanne Rose and co-hosted by Aoife from Words of Clover. And I wasn't aware that there was an Irish Readathon, and it has been ongoing for the past 4 years, but I just stumbled across it during the last week of January, and I just knew I had to participate. So this video is going to be about my TBR pile as well as my possibility pile for this particular readathon. So do please join me further in this video. So now, before I start, I would like to mention that I have all the prompts and everything about what I'm reading in front of me. So I'll be reading it out from here, of course, or I'll be referring to it from here. And for participation, we need to read only one Irish book. So the main book that I've chosen to read is a historical fiction called Grania, She King of the Irish Seas by Morgan Llywelyn. And I hope you can see this book because I do apologize, my ring light is shining on it. And this is a piece of historical fiction. And about this book, it is based on a real life Irish chieftain, Grace O'Malley, and is the story of a magnificent 16th century heroine whose spirit and passion are the spirit and passion of Ireland itself. So when it comes to the plot of the book, from the back synopsis, it reads as: Grania is no ordinary female, and she lives in extraordinary times. For even as Grania rises as her clan's unofficial head and breadwinner and learns to love a man, she enters a lifelong struggle against the English forces of Queen Elizabeth, her nemesis and alter ego. Elizabeth intends to destroy Grania's piracy and shipping empire and so subjugate Ireland once and for all. But Grania, aided by Teiganen, her faithful and secretly adoring lieutenant, has no choice but to fight back. The story of her life is the story of Ireland's fight for solidarity and survival, and it's also the story of Grania's growing ability to love and be strong at the same time. This is a rich, historically accurate and passionate novel of divided Ireland and of one brave woman who is Ireland herself. Now, the next book that I have is from my pile of possibilities, and it's a non-fiction book about Irish histories. In fact, it's the simplest and the most comprehensive book that I did come across. So it's called Irish History for Dummies by Mike Cronin, and from the back synopsis of the book, it reads as: From Norman invaders to religious wars and the struggle for independence, this is a book about the fascinating, turbulent history of a nation and its gifted people. When Shakespeare referred to England as a jewel set in a silver sea, he could just have well been speaking about Ireland. Not only has its luminous green landscape been the backdrop for Catholic-Protestant conflict and a devastating famine, Ireland's great voices like Joyce and Yeats are now indelibly part of world literature. This book includes a bird's-eye view of key historical events, a detailed chapter-by-chapter timeline of Irish history, beginning with its first Stone Age farmers to the recent rise and fall of the Celtic tiger economy. With a light-hearted touch, this informative guide sheds light on how this ancient land has survived wars, invasions, uprising, and emigration to forge a unique nation renowned the world over for its superb literature, music, and indomitable spirit. Now, the next book that is on my TBR is a book which fulfills two prompts, which is to read an Irish children's book and which has green on its cover. It also fulfills, I believe, the buzzword knowledge. So this is Irish Fairy Tales. And if you can check, I absolutely love the cover of this book. It's absolutely gorgeous. And about this book, Ireland has a rich history of storytelling with its many tales of heroes, giants, sea folks, fairies, and witchcraft. Here, Arthur Rackham's distinctive artwork to accompany powerful tales of the early Celts and the later stories of an Ireland of mighty hearts, dreaming of battlefield glory, ancient gods, and mystical tales. So I'm absolutely thrilled to start this particular book first. So that's the next book on my TBR. Now, the next two books are a duology, and they are YA, so they do fall under the category of the prompt, read a children's book, but I am keeping this in my pile of possibilities should I not be able to complete them within the span of a month. So this is by the author Deirdre Sullivan, and the first in the series is called Perfectly Preventable Death, and I absolutely love the cover design. And what the story is about is it's about sisterhood, it's about dark power and first love. Now, coming to the plot of the book, from the back of cover, the synopsis reads as 16-year-old twins Madeline and Kathleen move to a new life in Ballyfrine, a strange, isolated Irish town, a place where earth is littered with small corpses and unspoken truths. A place for generations, teenage girls have gone missing in the surrounding mountains. As distance grows between the twins, as Kathleen falls in love and Madeline begins to understand her own nascent witchcraft, Madeline discovers that Ballyfrine is a place full of predators. And when Kathleen falls into the gravest danger of all, Madeline must ask herself who she really is and who she wants to be, or rather, who she might have become to save her sister. So that's part one of the series. And the second part of the series is A Precious Catastrophe, again by the same author. And of course, the cover design is brilliant again. And the plot of the book continues as, from the synopsis at the back, that Kathleen and Madeline are extraordinary sisters living extraordinary lives in a place that seems entirely ordinary, but which in fact seethes with secrets, both sacred and sinister. Ballyfrine is a village for centuries people who are not quite human have gathered. Kathleen has already fallen foul of one such creature, a dark, vicious predator who almost killed her. And only Madeline, giving up a part of her soul, was able to bring Kathleen back from the brink of death. Now the girls are making their strange new lives. Kathleen, haunted by what has happened to her, is isolated and bereft. Madeline is learning ancient magic under the tutelage of a local wise woman, Mamu, learning that magic isn't mindfulness and hacks, it's work, hard work. And Madeline knows she has to keep watch on her sister, on the things that happen, notice things before they start to happen, and before long they do. So these are two books which I'm looking forward to reading, but I'll be keeping this in my pile of possibilities.